Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. Today is a really exciting day. I finally got my comics back from CGC after sending them in for grading. I found all of these comics in a storage unit, and this is my first time seeing the grades. I honestly have no idea what to expect, so let's open the box together and see if this storage unit turned into an amazing find. Let's get started. There should be 15 comics in this box, and every single one came from that same storage unit. Some of them looked really promising before I sent them in, but you never know what grade you're going to get until CGC checks them. I'm hoping for a few big surprises, so let's see what's inside and find out if this storage unit was even better than I thought. Alright, here's the first comic, Marvel Superheroes Winter Special X-Men, and it came back with an 8.5. That's a solid start. I was hoping for something a little higher, but an 8.5 is still a nice grade. We still have 14 more comics to go, so hopefully there are some even bigger grades waiting in this box. Looking at recent sales, a CGC 8.5 copy like this is worth around $100, so that's a pretty good start. It's always exciting when a storage unit find turns into a collectible like this. Comic number 2 is Spawn number 1, and this one earned a CGC 9.0. I'll definitely take that. It's one of the most popular independent comics ever made, and in this grade it's worth around $80. So far the storage unit is looking like a pretty good investment. Now let's see if the next comic can beat it. Next up is Black Panther number 5, and this one came back with an 8.5. Not quite as high as I was hoping, but it's still a respectable grade. Black Panther has always been a popular Marvel character, especially since the movies, so it's still a nice comic to have graded. Next up is New X-Men number 128, and this one earned a CGC 9.8, which is an excellent grade. I had a feeling this comic might do well when I sent it in, so it's nice to see it come back this strong. In this condition, it's worth around $120, making it one of the better books from this storage unit. Next up is Uncanny X-Men number 510, and this one came back with a CGC 9.0. That's another solid grade, and I'm happy with how it turned out. It's not one of the biggest books in the collection, but it's still a great comic to have professionally graded. Every good grade adds a little more value to this storage unit find. Next up is Wolverine number 145 Silver Foil, and this one came back with an incredible CGC 9.8. I was really hoping this comic would grade well, and it definitely did. The silver foil cover looks amazing, especially in a high-grade slab like this. Copies in CGC 9.8 can sell for over $200, making this one of the best finds from the entire storage unit. I'm really happy to see this one come back with such a strong grade. Next up is Wolverine Annual 1999, and this one came back with a CGC 9.6. That's still a great grade, and I'm happy to see it score that high. It's not one of the more valuable comics in the collection, but it's always nice to add another high-grade Wolverine book. So far, these storage unit comics have been grading really well. Let's see what the next one is. This next reveal is Wolverine number 155. It came back as an 8.5, and that's enough to put its value at around $80 to $100. It may not be the biggest book in the box, but it's another comic that's well worth having graded, especially since it came straight from a storage unit. Here's a classic Superman book, Action Comics number 775. CGC gave it a 9.4, and that's a grade I'm happy to see. This issue has built a strong reputation over the years because of its memorable story, so it's one that many collectors look for. It was a great surprise to find it in the storage unit, and now it's safely preserved in a CGC slab. This is one of those comics that looks even better once it's graded. A CGC 9.8 really helped show off the artwork on Lady Death 10th Anniversary number 1. It turned out to be another strong result from this submission. It's always satisfying to see a comic come back in near-perfect condition, especially one that's spent who knows how long sitting in a storage unit. The next comic is Cable and Deadpool number 24, and it came back with a CGC 9.4. That's a grade I'll gladly take. One of the things I've enjoyed most about this submission is seeing how well these comics held up after spending who knows how many years in a storage unit. Some of them graded even better than I expected. Cable and Deadpool have always made a fun team, and it's nice to have this issue professionally graded and protected. Every comic in this box brings back the excitement of finding that collection, and there are still a few more left to reveal. Now, this is a classic Wolverine limited series number 1. When I found this collection in the storage unit, I knew this was one of the comics I wanted to send to CGC. It came back with a 9.0, which is still a very respectable grade for a book from 1982. This 4-issue limited series helped establish Wolverine as one of Marvel's biggest characters, so it's an important comic to have in the collection. Seeing it preserved in a CGC slab makes it even more special, and I'm really glad I decided to get this one graded. At this grade, it's worth around $200, making it one of the standout comics from this storage unit find. The next comic is Young Avengers number 1, and I was really curious to see how this one would grade. It earned a CGC 9.6, which is an excellent result. As the first issue of the series, it's always been a popular book with Marvel collectors, and high-grade copies continue to be in demand. It definitely earned its place in this CGC submission, and it's another reminder that this storage unit had some great comics hidden inside. This next comic is Stormwatch Volume 2, number 4, and it came back with a CGC 9.4. What makes this issue special is that it features the first appearance of Apollo and Midnighter, two characters who later became fan favorites. That gives this comic a little more importance than a typical issue from the series. I'm glad it graded well because key issues like this are always worth preserving. And here it is, the last comic in the box. It's Wolverine number 145 Gold Foil, and it came back with a CGC 9.0. That's a solid way to finish this video. Thanks for opening this box with me. I'll see you in the next one.